I'll tell you guys a quick story of how I really got into stand-up comedy. As soon as the feedback ends. Is that better? Okay. This is a true story, by the way. I don't know if you ever... Wait. Huh. Whew. Huh. Were you able to hear that clearly? Because I couldn't even tell if I was dead on with any of the impressions. It sounded decent from up here. Right? Sound good enough for you? All right. So this is funny because, you know, when you start off as a comedian, people go, well, you know, what do you do? I got a friend who wants to be a comic. This is a true story. My hand to God, this is one of the things that got me into it. My first real job was at a department store. I was 17 years old, and I worked at this place called Sears. I don't know why that's funny, but you work at Sears?
Yeah.
Do you really? What department? Oh, you're done with Sears. All right, so you worked as a kid?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, yeah, all right, good, all right. Well, Sears was big back, you know, and we all, as high school kids, we'd work at Sears. So we all knew each other. But when I worked there, I didn't really work much. I worked in paint department, and I realized that I could do characters' impressions and drive everyone crazy. So there was this one kid in toys that I knew in school, and back then the Cabbage Patch dolls were huge. And it just came out, and people would bombard his department, and I would call him up as Joe Pesci, and he'd pick up the phone. He'd be like, hello, this is Scott, and you have to answer the phone. They tell you, like, the person on the phone must be answered. So he's got all these people going, Uncle, there's no Cabbage Patch dolls, what's going on? So that's when I'd call him. I'd see him scramble, get the phone. He'd be like, hello, this is Scott, Sears Valley Stream, toy department. How may I help you? And I'm like, hey, listen, I'm coming in there. This is Joe Pesci. I want to buy some Cabbage Patch dolls with my new nephew. Me and Bobby De Niro, we're going to come in there. You got any Cabbage Patch dolls for me, Scott? I'm going to be there in 10 minutes. 10 minutes I'm going to be there. And he would come running over to my department and say, Joe Pesci's coming here in 10 minutes, and I got no Cabbage Patch dolls left. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then he soon realized it was me busting his chops. But I would call other departments. When Ozzy was in town, I knew my friend was going to see tickets, so he'd go see him, so I'd call him like, hey, this is Ozzy, and I'm coming in to buy some linens. And I want to give some people tickets because I'm in town. And people are like, oh my God, Ozzy. So this one guy, it's brand new, and I'm hanging out in the hardware department, which is right next to paint. And when I'm in there, back then in the 80s, Muammar Gaddafi was huge. He was a bigger name than Osama bin Laden. He was a bigger name than Saddam Hussein. Because back then, I don't know what was going on. I didn't really care. I had a dangling cross earring, a little bit of a mullet, had a denim jacket, painted AC/DC on the back. I really don't care about Muammar Gaddafi. So, and I had tickets to see AC/DC, so I didn't really. But there was some tension going on where he was all over the news. And there was no CNN and computers and all these different news channels. So you were stuck with whatever they showed you. And they showed him over and over. As a matter of fact, you had to watch it because, believe it or not, even though it was only 80s, you didn't even have remote control. You had to get your rear end up out of a seat to actually change the channel. She's like, all right, I'll just sit through Muammar Gaddafi. And he would say, this is what I remember, because they play it over and over. And he was like, I am not afraid of America. You put your sanctions on me and your no-fly zone. If you bring your Air Force here, I'll shoot you down. I will shoot you down. So, of course, America, we were like, oh, shoot us down. We're going over there. And so that was a big thing. Our military was going to Libya. And he tried to shoot down our Air Force. He shot 6 missiles. Why do I knew that? Because it was on every channel 24/7. They would just show Muammar Gaddafi today. You change the channel. There's missiles flying. Even PBS, the public channel, like, we interrupt Sesame Street. 1 missile. Ha, 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 ha. 2 missiles. Ha, 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 ha. So he missed with all the missiles. So the next day, we bombed his house. Yeah, well, we missed. And then, left him there for another 30 years. That's how dangerous he was. So with that said, it was huge news. It was huge. We didn't know if we were going to war. So I'm in hardware reading 40 pages of the 50 pages in the newspaper, all Muammar Gaddafi, all Libya. What a monster, a terrorist. He's going to take America down and blah, blah. And this new guy from hardware just started, comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, man, you work in hardware?" I said, "No, I'm Jim. I work in paint. Welcome to the crew." He goes, "Well, if you work in paint, why don't you go back to paint? Because if a customer comes in, he sees you reading a paper or asks you a question you don't know, what the answer is, it's a reflection on me. I train for hardware. I want to be here. I take my job seriously, so can you go back to paint?" I just looked at him. I went, "You know you're in Sears, right?" So he goes, "Yeah, I know I'm Sears, and they pay you a salary, and you should respect that." No, you're right. So I go back to the paint department, maybe 50 feet away, and I tell my best friend, I'm like, "Listen, this guy just kicked me out of his hardware department. He kicked me out. He said I should respect that we're being paid." And he goes, "Well, he doesn't know who you are yet. Why don't you give him one of your calls? You got to break him in. Everyone else knows you got to break him in." I said, "But he's so doofy. What am I gonna call him as?" He goes, why don't you call him as Muammar Gaddafi? He'll know then you're just goofing around." I said, "That's pretty funny. I'll call him as Muammar Gaddafi, and he'll realize I'm just a jokester." So I could see the guy. He's literally about 50 feet away from me. I mean, he's the next department's hardware, and I'm looking at him as I call. I'm right next to the register, and he picks up the phone, and he goes, "Hello, this is Greg, Sears Hardware, Valley Stream, New York. How may I help you?" And my hand to God, I'm this over the top. I go, "Hello, this is the great Muammar Gaddafi. And I have just sent 6 of my Libyan missiles to blow up the Sears hardware department. You have 20 minutes before all of the hammers and the fixtures go blow to the sky. I have my army invading. Army, let them know we're here. My missiles have been launched. And you remember this, my hardware friend. As long as I am the great Muammar Gaddafi, long live paint!" And I hang up. And I laugh, I giggle. Me and my friend laughed so hard, we left, and our department had stockroom doors that led to the break room. So we go in the break room. My manager's not there, so whenever my manager was there, we'd take tag team 1-hour breaks. So, yeah. I see someone else knows exactly that system. Your friend leave for an hour, come back, you leave for an hour, you get paid for 4, you work 2. It's a great system. So he takes off in the mall. It's about 20 minutes, and I realize, you know what, someone's going to snitch on me. Let me get back into paint, because I'm the only guy at this. So I get out there. I'm still laughing of what this guy must think of me. And I call my friend Scott in toys, and he doesn't answer the phone. So I'm still hopped up, and I call up my friend Freddie, who is Freddie Armisen, who's on Saturday Night Live right now, who I graduated high school with, which is pretty freaky. You didn't know that? Yeah, isn't that weird? And back then, he had a mohawk. He was wacky, man. So I call up Fred. He doesn't answer the phone. And then I realize there's nobody in the store. There's no customers. There's no sales clerks. Nobody's in here. And it didn't register what was going on. I didn't understand what was going on. And then all of a sudden, from the stock room, the plainclothes security guy came out. He's like, Breuer, you gotta get out of here right now, let's go. Now, by the panic in his voice and his eyes, I didn't ask questions, I just went. I was like, let's go. I go, all right, let's go, get out of here. I'm not gonna ask questions. So I'm running with him through the stock room. And I said, what's going on? Is there a fire? Is there a fire? And he goes, no, the new guy in hardware got a bomb threat. They're going to blow us up. Like, we got 5 minutes to get out of here. The mall's getting evacuated. And it really was like slow motion. Everything just stopped. And my natural action was the belly laugh. I just laughed. I said, that wasn't a bomb threat. That was me. And he's going, hey, dude, you serious? It's not funny. I went, it's hilarious. There's no one in the store. Let's go grab sneakers. There's nobody here. What are we doing? I said, are you kidding me? That guy really called in a bomb threat? Like, I said I was Muammar Gaddafi, and I sent missiles to hit hardware in Valley Stream. How do you, that guy's a suspect. Who hires people like that? She goes, listen, it's funny, but you got to talk to the cops. There's a lot of cops here. So I come down to the security department, and there's just a sea of lights all over the place, red and blue flashing all over. And they sit me down, and the cops are howling at the story. One after the other comes in. Hey, Sarge, come here. You got to listen to this story. Do the whole, you got to do that. You got to do it. Sarge, listen to this guy. This is so funny. So I give him the whole thing. I'll blow you up. And the Sarge goes, that is one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my life. The problem is the feds are here, and it's out of our jurisdiction, and I can't let you off. So the feds walk in. There's about 4 feds, and they show their badge. It's like the movie. And they got coats, and they look real, I don't know. And the one guy wasn't having it. He goes, listen, I'm Federal Marshal Calora. This is Kaufman. This is McCaffrey. We're going to sit you down. Sit down, sir. And I had to sit down on this little stool. And he goes, you're going to look us in the eye, and you give us just facts, and we'll determine how long we're going to detain you. I said, what do you mean detain? What do you mean detain? I had a joke. He goes, no, it's not a joke. The Secretary of Defense have been notified by your phone call. I came in from JFK International Airport. I don't need this. What you did is not funny. Do you understand that? Look us in the eye and give us facts. Do you understand your situation? I went, well yeah, now I do. And the one marshal goes, are you high? I went, no, that's how I came out of the womb. I look high all the time. So I started telling the story. I said, okay, look us in the eye, okay? I was in paint, and there was this new guy in hardware, and I thought I'd lighten the mood up, so I gave him a call. I make calls, funny calls. I thought it was funny. Apparently it wasn't. He picked up the phone. He said, hello, this is Greg. Here's hardware. How may I help you? I said, no disrespect. I'm just giving you facts. I said, hello. This is Muammar Gaddafi. I've sent 6 Libyan missiles to blow up Sears hardware. And nothing. Here come the missiles. Nothing. My army. Nothing. I said, as long as I am the great Muammar Gaddafi, remember, long live paint. And I have like 5 seconds of silence. The head marshal goes like this. All right, get out of here. You should become a comedian, and you're federally approved. So that was the beginning, man. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Great rock station you got here.